The date is the 25th of Airy, year of our kingdom, 998. The weather is warm. I am so warm right now. I'm so cozy. I think it's cold outside, but I'm warm right now. And in the situation, I'm doing my hair in the scrap bucket in the bathroom on the scrap bucket. I am fixing my hair because Anne and Willow made a mess of it, but I can't seem to get the braid just right. I think I might be a bit drunk. Good. Maybe I'll sleep properly tonight. Sleep without feeling too much, you know. Drunk and numb would be nice. I wasn't drunk all day. In fact, I woke up very much not drunk. I made breakfast, I made lunch, I made dinner, as I do. I am the chef after all. The day was relaxed and spent mostly doing very little. Oh, we left the reef, the galleon. We left the galleon reef. We did it. We did all of our work and then we left the reef. After a relaxing day of doing not very much, we decided it was a good day, or rather a good night, to have a drink up. Lots of alcohol, lots of finger foods, at least for me. Lots of games. We played Liar's Dice, which I think I did pretty good at it, actually. And then we played 21, which I did less good at. What did we win for most of these games? Truth or Dare, of course. Willow showed us their tattoos, and they're so pretty and complicated, and I can't understand them like much, but you know, they're still pretty, and it's just like Willow. And Kat, they brought us hot sauce, and it was spicy and delicious, just like she is. And Anne made their hair short, and they looked so cute. Well, they always look cute, but this was a different kind of cute, you know? Oh, Willow made Anne eat raw onions. I made Willow eat hot sauce. Captain Varys made Anne and Willow eat the water when he threw them off the boat. Kat told us about how she would eat shoes when she was a kitten. Delicious. Captain Varys told us about how he was Ryger's first-hand man. His first-hand man. His right-hand man. No, first mate. That's it, first mate. Oh, Kai. Kai came out too. I wasn't expecting that, but he did. And he hasn't eaten the chocolates I got him for his birthday, which is really annoying, just like him. I think I'm going to go back out now. I can't get my hair the way I want it, and I'm really hungry again. I think I left some cheese on the table. Oh, in a revelation that shocked and stunned everyone present, Willow admitted to us that they were a pirate. Shock and awe, I know. They were a pirate on a pirate crew of pirates that had pirate ships. And pirate airships, apparently. I don't know if that's important. I feel like pirates are like water people, so having an airship kind of defeats the purpose. Unless they were sky pirates. I might have to ask Willow about that. I'm going to go do that now and eat the rest of the cheese.
Oh, Luca. Dear God.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Really channeling the drunk stream of
You
consciousness.
stupid motherfucker.
It's very good. Very, very
that
good.
was so good.
Yeah.
Man.
God.
Nicely delivered. High five.
Well
I think
done.
I'm gonna say, Sarah, take inspiration for Luca's drunkenness.
Yes, thank you.
You're freaking first-hand man. First mate. Kai's so freaking annoying. I was like, this is the best transition of thought I've ever heard in my life. Applause. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. What a delight. Okay, let's continue. As we settle in to see Willow Jenkins begin to tell the tale of how they joined their pirate crew all those years ago. "7 years ago, Willow, you spotted an airship above Regalport. Tell us, what did you do?"
Well, it's not common to see a airship in Regalport, yes?
No. Unprecedented, in fact.
Yeah. So that catches their eye. I imagine that they were doing other jobs, or at least looking for other jobs around the docks there. It could have even been a contract. So there's like they're walking past and then they double back, like take a few steps back and then look at this big. How do airships dock? They float, right? They're like balloons.
Yeah, they are floating. So it's basically tied to the lighthouse, more or less.
Right.
By some mooring lines.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, Willow does a double take and goes, "Oh," and then completely changes their plans for the day as they decide that they are going to check this out more closely. Because all airships are allied with House Lyranda.
House Lyranda
the property
is the...
of House Lyranda.
Yes.
That's what I meant. Allied by way of being made by.
Yeah.
And House Lyranda doesn't necessarily... They are only for the purpose of being warships, yeah? Or delivering...
They are, yes. Yeah, currently all airships that you know of have been commissioned to be used as war material by the various nations.
So seeing seeing an airship is like seeing like a tank or like a weapons convoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as specific as, pirate ships. They can just be boats or merchant vessels. Like if you see an airship, it's specifically going to be used for a bad time.
Yeah. Certainly you are nowhere close enough to anyone wealthy or influential enough to just have commissioned an airship for funsies. That's not really a thing.
I was also going to say funsies, but yeah. So naturally, Willow must investigate this. So they find their way aboard, which would be via like a ladder, yeah?
Yep. You climb the lighthouse. It is not hard to find that there is still a ladder let down from the side of the airship, so it's honestly almost like they've left the door open for you.
That is sus, however, but there's no one around at the base?
You sneak aboard very carefully and find out that the three, I guess you would still call them sailors, even if they do work in the sky. It is still a ship. But the three left behind who were supposed to clearly be guarding have thoroughly distracted themselves with a game and are like having a very, very silly debate on how to count cards.
Can I make a check on these three people? Or
yes.
I guess perception? Would it be perception or okay. So no one was at the base of the lighthouse. So obviously the coast was clear. All right.
Yeah.
Come aboard expecting Lyrandas, and I've found three people playing cards.
I mean, they look like they're common sailors.
Yeah.
I think my mouse has just died. Good.
Good.
Yeah. So. Yeah, these three women are clearly like just common sailors left aboard who are like obviously supposed to be watching the ship in the evening while other people are out.
Okay. Well, they don't seem like a threat, and it doesn't seem like anyone else is here. So Willow's just going to sneak past or find their way to where they know the. Well, yeah, if they find their way to where they know the engine room would be, that would also probably go past like areas where weaponry would be, right?
Yeah.
The gun deck, whatever it's called.
Yeah, so an interesting fact about airships, due to them being airships, is that most of their cannonades are like right at the bottom of the ship. So the engine is like above the guns.
Sorry.
Eye dust.
Yes.
Nobody's mopping here.
I don't
know.
think Willow's sneaking around and Willow just like, I don't think Willow would sneeze more coyly.
Quietly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a specifically out of character sneeze.
Yeah. The 3 playing cards like, what was that? Never mind. But yeah, I think Willow would be checking then if there's any like weaponry stored aboard.
Oh yeah, you definitely pass by like a weapons locker in terms of like armaments. So swords, wands, that sort of thing, ammunition.
Right.
Standard things that you would expect, you know?
Yes. It isn't like currently packed to the rafters to deliver weapons. It just looks like it has weapons. Or is it unclear?
I think it's unclear if it's... You wouldn't usually deliver weapons by airship in that sense, but it does look like it's ready for combat.
Right. Well...
And it's like ready for like close combat, not just like a strafing run or whatever.
Yes. Well, Willow's kind of in a hurry. They know that like there's only 3 people aboard, but they still don't want to dally. So they're going to pretty much jog over to the engine room, find their way in, and tinker.
Yeah. Roll me a tinkering check.
Tinker's tools.
Okay. Describe what you do.
Can I use Fish Dog to help me?
Yeah, you would have Fish Dog at this point, yes. Yeah, there you go.
Like it. Yeah. Cool. I
Describe
imagine
what you do.
Similarly to how Willow got the elemental, I imagine they have found the guts of the engine. I assume. Yes. Like the control panel area.
Yes. You do notice obviously that like this you would not be able to safely remove the elemental entirely, thus deleting its propulsion, because it is very heavily warded, both like in terms of physical barrier and magical protections. This thing is not coming out unless you want to explode your hands off, which you don't.
Which I don't.
But you can mess with it.
Yes. Question 2 about the actual elemental. What does it feel like in here? Like, you know how the elemental water room had like the water elemental? Is there like any feeling about this? Willow's also going to wave to the elemental when they pop in, if it's in a shard. Hey, oh my gosh.
It feels buoyant in a way that like you would expect from a ship from the high seas, which is interesting. There's a sway to walking on this ship that is not unlike being on an actual ship, but it feels more
bouncy?
Pronounced. Yeah, it feels bouncy is what I would say. You can't really see the elemental super clearly on account of like it is currently disengaged and dormant, but you can sort of hear a faint, I guess, wind whistling kind of noise.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Also, do you think Willow would have donned a mask while they were on this?
Probably. I imagine that you tend to hide your identity when you're up to no good.
Yeah. So, the mask would look similar to Cognaut's mask, but probably... I'll show you
an earlier iteration.
Yeah, more of the brown leather aspect rather than the gold entirely. Yes. So yeah, Willow's gonna tinker, and I think because they aren't completely sure what the ship is doing here, their intention is to slow down the vessel. They don't want to just blow up the engine because that would obviously knock it straight out the sky. So they are instead intending to figure out where it's going, but in the interim, at least slow down what it's doing. Because if it is racing to, drop cannons somewhere, then it should, it can be hindered.
Yep.
For now, while Willow continues to investigate it, but they should probably get off the actual airship before they investigate it more.
Yeah.
Which would mean that Willow is sort of low-key intending to track it as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Could be the first of many.
Yep. You finish up what you're doing. Give me a perception check as you are leaving the area. I think you were probably heading downstairs to see if you can get away with messing with the cannons a little bit.
Or at least investigating what they're...
Yeah.
Okay. Fish dog will probably be back in my pockets. I don't think Willow would just let it float around.
Yeah.
Oh, not in their pocket, under their jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've tucked it away.
Yes.
So you start going downstairs and I think what catches your eye is that there are some very non-military decorations down here. In fact, there is some graffiti on the walls here that makes you reconsider whether this ship is actually hired by anybody legitimate or even still in the possession, technically speaking, of House Lyrander at all.
Yeah. I do imagine that Willow, like in the same way that they paused while they were going past the Regalport docks and then doubled back, there is that same pause of like, why do these look like civilian clothes? Like, what is this? Yeah. Why is there punk-ass scribbles on the walls? And this doesn't have the orderliness of... Willow would know the orderliness of the military quarters.
Oh, yeah. It very much looks like somebody has, like, drawn black teeth and a mustache on, like, a recruitment poster.
Does House Lyrander use this symbolism of the Kraken? Like, in their work?
Yes, that would be the house crest.
Yeah, I can imagine too, like, just like either something drawn on that too.
Yeah.
Across through it, a spike in it, a thunderbolt in it, something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Willow's like, I think they're doubling back as well mentally to think of the 3 people there.
Which
visiting
is like...
again.
Yeah.
They weren't kind of, like, they could have been sailors, but that's an odd choice. And they didn't see the name of the vessel on the way in, obviously.
Nope.
It's probably on the flip side. Willow, like, just halted in the staircase while they are like, odd.
You
I think it's like head back up.
Yeah. Willow suddenly realizes as they are looking at all this punk ass detritus that this ship was probably stolen from Lyrander. Especially considering that the ornate gilded symbol of House Lyrander has been, like, basically stabbed through.
Yeah, I literally imagined Willow being like, oh, like in that exact page. Like, they're kind of like happy to see the little, this is an anti-Lyrander ship. This is an anti-Lyrander airship, and so like they're going to be like, oh, and then like they probably shouldn't have tinkered with that. So they are going to witnessing that, observe a little more as much as they can, but I imagine it's just more confirmation of like, oh, these are not military people. and then
Oh, no.
quickly kind of
You're like,
scamper.
oh shit, these are pirates. I'm
It's
fucking
like,
with somebody's stolen car. And I just kind of made it. And I just kind of make it easier
to be caught.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I imagine Willow has that like simultaneous moment of like, oh shit, these are pirates. Oh shit, these are pirates. Oh no, these are pirates. Like they are going through all the motions in the same breath. So they are going to quickly scamper back upstairs because there is a lot about that has just changed.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have to explain it later. So they will just quickly start jogging back. They will keep an eye out, but yeah, they've now extended their trip by half. Is the logic? They need to have time to tinker back, fix what they broke.
So you scramble back, pull out Fish Dog, start making repairs. Roll another Tinker's check with advantage.
God, the easy and slow way that Willow entered the room at first versus this like hurried, oh shit.
Okay, so you are still in the middle of tinkering when you hear footsteps above you. You're not gonna have enough time.
Shit.
So you can either bail or fix.
How much time do I have?
Like a minute at most. This is not a minute-long job. Do you think Willow would press their luck and try to hurry up and like hope they don't come into the engine room while they're fixing things, or?
Well, what's the likelihood someone will immediately go to the engine room?
Pretty unlikely.
Yeah, you know what? Willow's gonna be like, they are upstairs. That doesn't mean they're going to come check on the elemental. That's not a thing people do. So, they will risk it.
Okay.
Can I roll again, or is it?
No, I think.
Okay.
I think the thing that you need to roll right now is a perception check at disadvantage because you are trying to focus very hard on your work and getting it done as smoothly and quickly as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. So the good news is you finish up your work. The bad news is, as soon as you are done and like wrap up, start to head out the door to disembark, you run into a character.
Willow is going to quickly conceal Fish Dog and remove their mask. I imagine that perception check allows them just that second of, oh shit, someone's here, and they quickly conceal.
Yeah, you basically like turn to like remove your mask and stuff. And when you turn back, you are suddenly held at sword point by a handsome red-haired half-elf.
No, he's hot.
Willow. Willow's just removed their mask. Just pocketed Fish Dog, has turned around just in time to have a sword held to their neck. Yeah. And Willow's immediately just stands with their head back and says nothing for now.
The half-elven man gives you a little smirk and eyes you over and says, "Don't tell me you're lost, handsome."
Willow thinks, because that was probably the first thing they were like, going to insinuate, but it's not now that they're in the elemental engine room. They were hoping to get out of the elemental engine room and then...
You're not in the elemental engine room. You're
I'm
just
not?
outside it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm still outside it.
Yeah.
But that's fine. You can't prove I came from the elemental engine room. So Willow's just quietly ticking over that fact. I think that they will just open their mouth and then close it and not say anything yet. Oh, can I make a perception check on him, though?
Yes.
Normal. Oh.
Give me a follow-up history check.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a mark of the storm on his chest.
Mm.
And if okay, so you're doing some quick math. You don't know that. You figure the reason why you don't know this guy is because House Lyrander probably finds this a huge fucking embarrassment.
Mm.
So of course they wouldn't say that one of their prestige, cutting-edge technology, one of only a handful at most, brand new airships has been stolen.
Yeah.
But the way this guy carries himself, he's clearly the one in charge.
Yeah. I
Not to
do
mention
imagine
the way
that.
he dresses.
Yeah, Willow's noticed that as well. I imagine Willow's like at sword point. They're not saying anything. They heard him talk. They're not acknowledging that because they're just like, oh, dragon mark, massive dragon mark, and putting that together with everything they learned at the base of the ship. Also, the idea that it is now in Regalport. They like tick. Congratulations, self. You were correct. This is a stolen ship. He probably stole it. That's interesting, but they have still not said anything out loud.
I think while you're mentally worrying, Captain Brightwind leans in a little closer, sort of forcing you up against the hallway wall, and gives a little laugh. What's the matter? Shy?
Willow looks down at the sword and back up and says, "There's a sword on me."
So there is. How'd that get there?
You can see through Willow's sunglasses. There's like a distinct wince. Like not a wince. It's a wince of cringe, not a wince of fear. It's a okay. You're like that. Yeah. Okay.
Let me ask again.
Okay.
What are you doing aboard my ship?
Okay, mentally confirmation that it is his ship. That makes sense. Willow's just looking.
Just looking.
It's not every day you see an airship in Regalport, so...
And your first instinct was to board it.
Willow just presses their lips together and like looks to the side. And shrugs.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good enough explanation.
Willow knows that wasn't a good enough explanation. Willow's just, I just can't think of anything better to say in their head, but they're like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, they're racking their mind thinking of something to say, but there's very little to say.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's a sword on them. They could, Willow's thinking too, like, I could just take my chances and try and escape, but it doesn't feel, while there is a sword on them, I don't feel like Willow feels, okay, question, how likely does he feel like he's gonna stab me?
Make an insight check. It's hard to say if his demeanor will change, but the sword is like not pressed up against you. It's very much in your way, but at the moment it just feels like it's blocking you rather than like actively menacing you.
Yeah, and he obviously teased before then, so he does seem the type to be like quack hands, you know, chatty. So
Yeah.
he's not completely aggressive enough yet for Willow to pull out any of the air quotes big guns or, you know, hit him with
Yeah.
fish dog and run or anything. So it's like
Yeah.
Willow's just going to hold it for a sec, and they're better off saying nothing than saying something incriminating, so they are saying nothing. But they do give a little shrug at his
Mhm.
not good enough, because it's like, well, yeah, I know. I'm aware.
You're not even going to try and make an excuse?
I just did.
He eyes you over carefully. What does he see with a 16?
Damn. Willow's quite plainly dressed. I imagine, like, they're stylish, obviously, but they are.
Yes.
They're obviously also a shifter. I think you can tell.
Yes.
From their nose.
Plain as the nose on the face.
Yeah. Probably Willow doesn't seem armed. That's the main thing. They don't appear to be armed, and they dress kind of like a sailor. They also dress like they are from around here. So kind of unassuming. They aren't carrying a sword.
Yeah.
Or any manner of weapon. Like I just said, they are. And I imagine he might notice that they are not particularly. Was it an insight or a perception check?
Insight.
Oh.
So
They
he's
aren't
trying
like...
to assess your character.
Right. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know if I need to roll for this, but I don't imagine Willow's got an overly frightened vibe. Nervous, yeah, but like definitely not frightened by him.
Not fearing for your life.
Yeah, and there's a kind of casualness, despite Willow being like awkward. It's like they don't seem as frightened by him or intimidated by him as I think he might expect someone to be, but I don't know what he expects. But they have noticed him. I think he might notice that Willow noticed his everything.
Yes. It's kind of hard not to.
Yeah.
Brightwind raises an eyebrow and goes, "So, what, just random dock worker? Wanted to check out the sights on our airship?"
That's a very nice airship.
What are you doing outside the engine room?
I imagine Willow gives a face here that's like a... He is going to be persistent. There is no way out of this. But they are still thinking of alternate things to say. nope, they're not ready yet. They're going to say, what are you doing with this airship?
I believe it said it's mine. I'm the
Willow
captain.
looks him over again. This isn't... As far as I'm aware from my dock work, this isn't what Lyranda airships are usually used for.
Well, I'm not very usual, am I?
Well, you are threatening me with a sword, and that's rather common around these parts, so I suppose it depends on your perspective.
He laughs a little. Get in trouble often?
Willow shrugs in a way of like, stop making small talk with me, you have a sword on me! Willie just like squints and like shakes their head like they're not going to entertain that question. Anyway, I was just leaving, so
I don't think so.
yeah, that's what I thought.
How about this? You tell me why you're here and what you were doing, and I'll... He gestures with his free hand. Ease up on the sword. You seem pretty fixated on it.
Willow wrinkles their nose at that, like they don't like the idea that he's implying he's intimidating. It's just rude. Fine. There's like a resigned moment of whatever, and then Willow goes, I was having a look at the engine.
He raises an eyebrow. What were you looking for?
I like elementals.
You know, there were easier ways that you could have gotten a tour, love. He's pulled the sword back a bit, but is now like leaning into your space with his free hand, basically. It's like the sword is now down. It used to be like up near your collarbones. It is now sort of down at your hip. Still like at the ready if you do anything stupid. But right now he's sort of just like leaning a hand against the wall and has you trapped between one arm, the wall, and like the sword at your side.
Is this fish cabedoning me?
Yes,
Am I getting
he is.
cabedoned right now?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Your vibe is like, it is hard to tell if he is trying to intimidate you or flirt with you.
Yeah. I imagine Willow's got that impression now. They are giving, I can't think of any other way to describe it, but the Ryan Gosling meme face.
Yeah, you kind of do a once-over of confusion and...
Yeah. It's more the, not disgust at like him, it's just the, it's like, maybe disgust is too strong of a word. It's the confused, are you really trying this right now?
Is this really happening? Affronted is a good word.
Affronted, yes.
You do an affronted once over.
Yeah. Yeah, Willow's going to sort of like not sidestep. They don't want to make it seem like he is bothering them, but they are like, they do want to make it clear that he is. I think they're just going to say, "I'm not interested. Thank you."
In a tour or in me?
Well,
Here's the thing.
Oh, okay.
You snuck aboard the only pirate-owned airship in all of Lazar, and I'd like to know what the fuck you're doing here. Seeing an elemental engine? We both know that I don't buy that. So unless you want me to call my first mate and set up a nice little interrogation, maybe you should think of a better answer.
Okay, Willow's gonna roll their eyes. Now, can they actually shift away from, like, what will he do if they kind of, like, tap his arm away?
You don't know.
Okay, I think Willow's going to... They're disregarding the sword.
Okay.
And they're going to sort of raise their hand to the arm and sort of tap it away like space.
I don't think he moves initially, but like if you turn your back and back up so that you're going deeper into the ship, he lets you.
Okay, yeah, Willow will move away from the wall just so they're not back against the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is a
He's
little
still
hand
blocking
gesture
your
at me.
exit, but like
Yeah.
you're sort of at this point it feels like you're circling each other a little bit, but he is clearly not making it easy for you to get out.
Yeah, no, Willow just wants to get away from the wall. And so I imagine
Yeah,
that
that's
they kind of
fair.
like swat away, pull away from
Yeah.
the wall and like adjust their jacket in a way of like he's being annoying.
Yeah.
They are interested in him. They just not
They can't
in the
say
way
it's
that
his
he is
face.
presenting. They can't say it because he's being annoying.
Yeah.
um,
Just like, this is too much. He got no.
back up,
Absolutely.
but it's okay. I imagine Willow backs up, makes enough space that they can like comfortably adjust their jacket and then like just put their hands in their pockets or something. They're gonna stand and contemplate for a bit. They don't feel like he is standing in the way. He is very obviously standing between them and an exit.
Yeah.
He is persistent and irritating and observant,
Yep.
and he's interesting.
Yep.
That's probably the key point. He is a non-Lyranda. Lyranda is what it seems like.
Yep. You know what excoriates are.
I do know what excoriates are. Not all of them have airships.
Nope.
So
But
yeah,
this
Willow,
guy
like,
seems like a big deal.
he seems like a big deal, yes. So imagine Willow's like giving him a once over. They are thinking very much about like their plans for following the ship, and then they are gonna sigh and sort of sit back in the like. It's like a dismissive like, oh well, this might as well happen.
Mm-hmm.
I was tinkering with the engine.
You what?
I was sabotaging your ship.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Why ask?
That takes him aback a little bit. You're serious?
Willow shrugs and yeah. Don't say anything. Just look at him, like, believe it or not.
He eyes you over again, like, tilts his head like he's seeing you in a new light. Then does, like, a sharp whistle.
Oh.
And another half-elven woman, like young, maybe 20, 21-ish, maybe 22, unclear, pops downstairs and, like, she's got these long twin tail box braids, sort of dark skin, black hair, pops downstairs and goes, "Who's this?" And Coulton says, "Stowaway. Will you believe it? Get Claptrap down here. I believe we have a little saboteur on our hands." There is some commotion. A older gnomish man, dressed in working clothes, comes downstairs, followed by the half-elven woman that you saw earlier, and they both head inside the engine room. Coulton is... I think at this point he's, the sword is, down, but he's still very much standing in the way, and he has, one arm folded and hip cocked and just, is eyeing you up very curiously.
May I make another
Yeah.
check on what these folks are going to do? Are they coming to
Yeah.
tie me up? What are they going to...
No. Basically, the gnomish gentleman who you hear referred to as Claptrap, and the elven woman or half-elven woman called Emma, both head inside the engine room and do a check over. And then Claptrap comes out and is like, "I can't see anything wrong with it." And Brightwind looks at you and raises an eyebrow again.
Willow sort of... They're not rolling their eyes completely, but they have the energy of, a thinly restrained eye roll.
Yeah.
And then they will look back and see, well, I fixed it.
Where'd you learn how to do that?
That's not really the point, I think. It's... Just curious why. Yeah, Willow's not going to answer where they learned how to do that.
I think I'd like to have this conversation in a little more comfortable setting. Do I need to get Emma to tie you up, or are you gonna come quietly?
Can I make a check on Emma? What's her vibes?
She is... similarly flashy, but a lot less swaggery, I would say.
Yeah.
She seems more boots on the ground business than this guy is. But clearly they're close. If he's the captain, she's probably his first mate.
Right. Yeah. I imagine Willow doesn't get the impression they're going to be carried on by her. So either way, though, they don't want to also take the risk of being restrained for no reason. So they are probably going to pull their hands out of their pockets and hold their hands up, quietly indicating that they will come quietly.
Right. Let's head to my room. You get led to the captain's quarters, which are not huge aboard this relatively small airship. But it is clearly decorated. There were no doubts in your mind that these are pirates, but it's even more obvious when you get into the captain's quarters and you see more of this punk-ass graffiti, more flashy trinkets and stuff.
Yeah.
The bed is somewhat in disarray. But there is a desk and chair. You get seated in the chair. Emma stands behind you, and Coulton sits across from you. And they basically start interviewing you. Also, as you're like heading out, you hear like the sounds of dismay and protest as the 3 women you snuck past earlier are clearly being scolded for not paying close enough attention.
Yeah. I do imagine Willow's like they're going to put their head down because they are smoking a little. Like they are inclined to laugh at the 3 of them getting berated for that.
Yeah.
They don't want Emma or Coulton seeing that they are laughing at them. So quiet snicker.
Yeah. So yeah, you basically get dragged into the captain's cabin, and between Emma and Coulton, who you both find out have the surname Brightwind, although they are clearly not blood relatives, they look pretty different. They do sort of straddle the line between like siblings and captain and first mate in the way they talk with each other and over your head as they are trying to like get information out of you.
What kind of information?
At first, Emma basically like, who are you? What are you doing? Where'd you learn how to tinker? What's your vibe? What's your goal? Have you heard of us? Emma seems really dubious at first that you would have been able to sabotage the ship at all. But Coulton says, no, I've seen him lie. And that wasn't a lie.
Willow. Will is willing to answer questions about their thought process on the sabotage and little else.
Let's do a contested roll.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to roll an intelligence saving throw.
That's a first.
Yes.
For me.
Yes. Versus Captain Brightwind's persuasion check. Because he is going to try and basically trick you into saying things.
Ugh, dickhead.
By bantering. Well.
Laughs.
You're very frustrating.
I imagine that if Willow can detect, if Willow can detect that he's trying to gear them into saying stuff and then that they are irritating him by not saying the things, they are low-key going to also have that same, they are like holding back on a smile about it.
Yeah.
They're not like, I feel like their eyes make it quite obvious too when they find it a bit amusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, expressions that we've probably seen on Willow nowadays that you don't really catch their eyes on it, but it's very clear now that they are amused by how much they are frustrating him.
Oh, yeah.
They're not trying to. Well, they're not trying to either. They're just...
They are amused that this is the result.
Yeah. While they're here, I mean, hey.
Yeah.
Might as well find it funny.
Yeah.
The more he kind of, and the more both of them try to, well, more so Coulton tries to like position himself as like, as like an important big shot. I think the more Willow takes a specific kind of delight in shooting him down in such a low-key way.
It's like,
but they're trying not to make that too obvious.
Obviously, you've heard of Coulton Brightwind, and Willow just goes, "Nope, never heard of you."
I literally.
And it's just like you see the second of like facial spasm of like annoyance and deflating.
Yeah. Obviously, you've heard of me. No, never. Oh.
Anyway, this goes on for about 15 minutes before there is another like pause in the conversation where Emma is clearly whispering to Coulton.
Wind whispering? Carry on, sorry.
As they're discussing, and Coulton kind of shakes his head and does a little frustrated laugh of like, all right, here's what I think of you. I think you're probably some kind of punk ass on the run from somewhere or to somewhere. Doesn't really matter to me. But you clearly know what you're doing. And that's interesting to me. Don't exactly meet a lot of people who are skilled in this field, if you know what I mean, and not gainfully employed. Gives you a look like you are clearly also a scoundrel of some description.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what the hell would you be doing here?
Yeah, I also imagine Willow pointedly nods at his chest and says, same to you.
So here's the deal. As it turns out, our crew is hiring. What do you say to becoming a pirate with us? Or, since you're clearly not interested in conversation, we could just drop you over the side of the ship into the sea. Bit of a long fall, though. That doesn't look like you have any wings.
Willow again gives him that little like, "Are you serious?" Okay, like not the wince again. Then they kind of sit back and think, legit. They're not tired, are they? They're just sitting.
Yep, just sitting.
Okay, cool. I imagine Willow might actually like put their hand on their chin and they're actually considering this like a job offer.
Make an insight check. Emma is clearly surprised by this, but Coulton is sitting back like he's like just made the biggest gamble of his life and is committing to the bit fully.
Wow.
He has clearly seen something in you. And is willing to risk it. He likes your vibes.
I think there is like if Willow actually assesses that and sees it, it will show on their face like their ears are down, but they have a little like flick when they notice like, oh, he's gambling on me. This isn't just a one-way thing. This is okay. There is a mutual gamble here, and there is a lot of thought process behind it in the few seconds that Willow does think, but they do think quite clearly.
Yeah.
And then after a long pause, they will probably say, I'll have to send a letter to my boss, but suppose so.
Trust me. We pay better.
Yeah, Willow shrugs and nods. Sure. If you'll have me. Gives a big smile and then offers a hand.
He reaches back and shakes your hand. Welcome aboard. And there's a pause as he's waiting for a name. Like, they've clearly asked you your name before, but I don't think you answered.
Yeah. Willow's again going to... I don't think they realized at first that he is asking for a name, and then when they do, there is a notable pause. When they do notice that he is, they pause for a second and then just say, Fender.
All right. Welcome aboard, Fen. And we end the flashback there.
Your name isn't Fender.
Or is it?
No, you told me.
I'm pretty sure that's a lie.
You told me.
The thing they're not very good at.
It's probably why the motherfucker laughed.
Which is probably why Colton was like, okay, Finn. Sure.
It's like obviously fake Nick, and he's like, all right.
We're
Yeah,
pirates. Why not?
Okay, Brightwind.
Yeah.
Is that not his real name?
You don't know,
Shrugs.
Luca. How much has Willow even told us about
Yeah,
that?
I don't think you told the names. You just said.
Okay.
Yeah. So what is
yeah.
the Sparks Note version of that we got?
The Sparks
Yeah.
Note version is that Willow snuck aboard a ship, an airship, sabotaged it, realized it was a pirate airship, unsabotaged it, got cornered by the captain, who was weirdly flirty with them.
Uh-huh.
I think that was like weirdly flirty and annoying about it.
I feel like Willow would just like in Tipsy Willow be like, they were really flirty and annoying about it. Like I just feel like that would slip out.
I don't actually, Willow wouldn't. They don't want to talk too much about the specifics. What they said literally last session is all they said.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
Unless pushed for more information by you guys now.
Luca wouldn't.
There
mind more
were little
information.
details about like the fact that you sabotaged it, unsabotaged it, and then had basically a job interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the funny part, I think, that Willow would tell, but they wouldn't say specifics about the actual
Yeah.
demeanors of the
Encounter.
people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They would say that they were held at sword point, probably.
Yeah.
At the end of a blade would be
Yeah.
how they say it, but
Yeah.
not the personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like you got
they
lucky.
just have to.
I think has heard this story before and is like, you didn't tell me it was an airship.
Oh, didn't I?
And
Yeah. Isn't that rare? Like to not be under Lyrander?
I think Varys is just like chuckling to himself. He's just laughing. Like under his breath, basically, the whole time.
Must be some kind of hotshot who you ran into to have a Lyrander ship. That's not a Lyrander ship.
Is that not common?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm no pirate like some people, and I nudge Willow with the elbow of my arm. But
And if you want to make a history check
sure,
to see what you know about airships.
I picked up a few things by being around.
Yeah, you think there's like maybe only 100 of them in the world?
Yeah, they're pretty rare. Correct me if I'm wrong, Willow Jenkins, but there's only like, I don't know, 80 to 100 at all, ever? So
That's nowadays.
And they all belong to Lyrander, right? So, like, except for this one, apparently. And any others that have gotten stolen in the meanwhile. Or the ones you have not tried to sabotage.
Hey,
Hey, you've got time. If it lands you jobs, I mean, why would you stop?
Does piracy count as a job?
You get paid. It supports your life. Technically.
It's not easy work, says Varys.
yeah, Willow gestures at Varys like, ask the pirate.
He's like sort of doing a tight-lipped smile of like he's still kind of laughing. He's clearly very amused because he has it's not hard to guess that he has some context that the rest of you don't.
I do imagine there is like Willow finishes telling the story. I think the more we talk, or something someone said before, there is like a little distance about them. I don't know if you guys notice. I think when you were mentioning like the stuff about the airships and that they aren't fully responding, they aren't fully like leaning into the question time, but they are.
Yeah, they seem a little distracted, but that could be the alcohol.
Who knows?
Oh. What kind of captain was it that they immediately took someone sabotaging their ship?
Well, I mean, Willow tried to unsabotage it, and I think anyone who's stolen a Lyrander ship would probably appreciate someone who tries to sabotage a Lyrander ship. I think they had, similar outlooks on Lyrander, which, hey, is a start. Enemy of my enemy and all that.
You're on the right track, En.
And, like, just, like, they have a glass in their hand, and they, like, give a toast into the air to the Varys.
Oh. Do you know something about them, Captain?
Willow looks at Varys.
I'm sure my knowledge is out of date, but yes, there is a fleet out there, a principality even, that is made up of mostly the types who dislike Lyrander very strongly, let's say.
Is that a common thing in the principalities? I feel like I keep hearing about it.
Well, Lyrander tends to have the best ships outside of our own, and they make for rich targets, let's say.
Right.
We're also a little bit competitive, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right, you were trying to make an alliance, and that didn't work out.
No, but, well, who knows?
Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen, apparently.
And I check on Willow, see what they're like, see what they're vibing.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yep,
I'll check
you
on
are
Willow, too.
poisoned, so make an
Ah, yes.
insight check with disadvantage.
Hell yeah.
Not bad.
We both got 9s, look at that.
That's
You
already.
did a perception check.
Yeah, I'm seeing. I'll see what Willow is on, I guess.
I imagine that Willow's, since you guys have been talking, they did look at Varys to see what he would say, and then, especially when En said something at the end there about, like, what did En just say? Huh.
Just
About
now.
making an alliance and it not working out.
Yeah.
No, the
with
last bit.
Lyrander.
Yeah, the last thing En said, I feel like Willow's just looking. Their hands are in their lap and they're just looking down at their hands, probably fiddling with their bracelet or their gloves. They look a little like they've not tuned out completely, but that they are like. They're just not actively engaging.
Yeah. You know when you're listening to a conversation go, but you're not
Yeah.
looking to interject or participate in it.
Yeah. They told their bit and now they're just kind of sitting there and fiddling with their gloves.
Well, I, for one, am completely surprised by the fact that Willow is a pirate.
Oh yeah. It's
Never once
it's a
have
huge
I
shock.
considered this.
Hmm.
This is a revelation. Is that the right word?
Yep.
Close enough. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of pirates, got any more thrilling tales to tell, Varys?
Oh, what to talk about?
I'm gonna slide Willow some cheese.
Oh, Willow's going to, like, they get the impression from that of, like, oh no, am I looking sad? And, like, sit up a bit straight. And, smile over at Luca, then look back at Varys. Yeah, I'm sure you have many tales to tell.
Well, he's like rubbing his chin thoughtfully, trying to think of something. Well, I was Ryger's first mate for a while. About 4 or 5 years before I got my own ship.
Did you get those scars during that time?
Oh, no, he taps the one on his eyebrow. This is from fighting Harpies, actually.
Oh, wow.
What are the odds?
How about that?
They're a real menace, let me tell you. I think this was the... Right, yes. He, takes a drink, to wet his throat and says, "This was my first year as, captain of the Silver Dancer. We were doing a trade run to Cliff Scrape. Was sunny day, early morn. We were heading in not few hours from harbor when a bunch of harpies came down from the cliffs, started attacking the topmen. So of course I went up there myself and helped shoo them off. One got me good in the eyebrow. Nearly took my eye out, but I, stabbed the bastard. Obviously, I was the only man. This was... maybe... 8, 9 years ago?
Wow, you were a spry thing then.
Well, it seems the harpy failed to ruin your handsomeness. I think they only made you more handsome.
Varys, like, scoff laughs and, like, does a, "Oh, you." And...
Okay, Willow's gonna pour everyone a drink and say, and then, like, we're gonna toast to that.
The captain's handsomeness.
To handsome Captain Varys's defeat of harpies. Again.
Here, here.
Yeah. Also imagine when he mentioned the topman, Willow like reached over to Kat and like rubbed her shoulders like, "Oh, that's you."
Yeah, I also thought of Cat when the top. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's rough.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cat says, "To a kind captain who takes care of his crew."
Boo! Cat taking us seriously? Jeez.
No, she's
No, I'm
saying
kidding,
it like she's saying it like fuck off.
Yeah.
In the overly dramatic "I love you, man" kind of way.
Yeah, good.
A little bit taking the piss, but you know.
Yeah.
I think the conversation turns. Who wants to tell a story next?
I can go.
Yeah, I think, you know what? I think Kat prompts N of like, okay, what's... tell us a fun Sharn story. You've got to have something fun to say about Terminus. I mean, it's always so busy down there.
I don't know about Terminus, but I can tell you about the most important job I was ever sent on.
Oh.
Kat, like, visibly, like, perks and is like, "Oh, yeah?"
Yeah, since we're talking about some very important jobs, like, elbows Willow again. So, I was about, 6 at the time.
Oh, baby.
So see, on days when my Mata was too busy to pick me up from school, the duty would fall to Papa. He drove sky taxis for a living, which, if you don't know, they're these like flying wagons used to cart people around Sharn, and gestures to Willow and Luca, because Kat obviously is gonna know what those are.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
And
so
just like, hey, no wonder you were living in Terminus.
yeah, it's travel, right? Yeah,
She
so
nods.
today
Willow takes a vested interest in this. They like
Yeah.
vehicles.
today was one of those days. Papa was picking me up from school, but guess what made today extra special? And then like gestures to the crew, like actually guess.
Birthday.
Was it your birthday? I look at Willow like we've just connected on a soul level.
No. 2 more tries.
Um,
Cat says, closing sale?
No.
Varys says, anniversary.
And points over their glass, like all fingers curled around the glass, one finger out at Varys. Like,
Yep.
yes. That's the
Oh,
one.
they were-
Anniversary.
their wedding anniversary?
Yep. Anniversary.
Oh.
Hey. Mata and Papa getting married.
Oh.
I'm gonna say it was probably their 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
So it was a big one, big milestone.
Yeah. So, see, it was so special that, naturally, Papa had to get something very special for Mata. Problem was...
Problem was that it was the weekend, and poor Greg was flooded to the gills with weekend travelers in and out of Sharn, going all across the way. You'd get like messages sent from various hotels, getting passengers to like catch the trains out of Sharn, or when you were like at the station, to passengers going into Sharn, going to like hotels clear across the city. Very busy. Very, very busy day. And you had a dinner reservation. A nice place. What was it? Dragon Eyes?
Yeah, most likely. Mata like to take us there.
Yeah, so your Mata's favorite place in Dragon Eyes, table reservation, little bit upscale, but not too out of reach. But there was a gift that you needed from, I think it was like North Market or something, or one of the bigger market districts. That place closes at 5:30 on what is essentially a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And your pause shift ends at 6, and they're about to get sent off all the way to the other side. So Craig basically goes, okay, and I need you to do me a real favor. I'm gonna drop you off on the corner, and I need you to take this receipt. He hands you a folded up piece of paper, and show it to the clerk at the counter, and wait for me there, and I'll try and pick you up in time. Just make sure you get the gift for your Mata, and yeah.
I can do it, Papa.
Okay. So it's like 4:49. You get dropped off at the corner, and he like shoos you out of the taxi cab and goes, go.
And is nodding and like gripping the receipt and like scurrying off. And this is the most important job I've ever done.
Like you're like dodging through the streets, like running towards this like custom shop that like got an order. It's already been paid for, but like you've got like the like last bit of deposit. You have the coin purse. You're clutching the receipt and the coin purse like close to your chest and like legging it.
Wait,
We see little-
wait.
Oh my god.
running to the door. Like someone
It's
had the sign about to turn in, and little baby
It's
changeling.
It's like 5:25. You
Yeah.
like slam into the door.
Yeah, basically. If I was any stronger, if I had plus any strength, I would go through the glass door, but instead I just splat against it.
Yeah.
Like, please wait. My papa will cry if you don't let me give you this.
The gnomish lady at the counter who was like fabricator is like, oh dearie, are you all right? You just came in crashing.
I'm fine. I'm very stretchy. And I'm gonna like toddle up to the counter, and you know how Lilo
There's,
is
like, a
so
little
short against the
staircase.
counter. They try to like
there's
pop
a little
it over,
staircase.
and then they see
There's
the
like
staircase.
a little staircase up for like shorter people to come up, and you just like scrambling up it on hands and knees. and
Lap
you
it
slap
down.
Loud jingling of the coin purse full of silvers, and it's just like, right. The order for Mr. Riverheart. Just wait 1 second. Of course, I'll get it.
Wiggly Riverheart. It's a music box. It's very pretty.
Yeah, you get the order wrapped in paper with a ribbon on it. And the lady at the counter is like, can I get you a glass of water or something?
Okay, I need to get this to Papa.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then you like toddle out the door, waving goodbye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
You see, like, you wait for like maybe 10-15 minutes, and you see your Papa's sky taxi like skid to a halt just outside the cab rank. He like tosses the keys to the next driver and is like, thanks for covering my shift. Okay, you got it? Great. Okay, grabs your hand and like, let's go. Starts like running with you to the elevator that's like about to head down.
Yep, and just keeping up as best as the little legs can, which isn't too bad considering Greg is a halfling. So.
Yeah, you're about the same height at this point. You're like a little bit shorter, but like
yes,
it's just like legging it to the elevator, making sure you get there on time before the doors close, and the operator says, going down to Dragon Eyes.
And just like bouncing in place, holding the package.
Yeah. We see the camera pan across the city skyline a little bit, and head down into a restaurant in Sharn. Nice little cozy family place. We see you meet your Mada there, Lynn.
Yeah.
Dressed up fancy, just gotten off work. Hugs and kisses before you head in to get your table. Lynn's asking you about your school day, and I think Anna's so excited that they'd like just want to see their Mada open the presents.
Yes, presents and food, and I'm very excited about that. Forget history class. I want to eat.
Yeah.
I want to give the gift, or I want Papa to give the gift.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah. So, guy says, all right. And Lynn goes, oh, honey. And he pulls out this sizable parcel that's like wrapped in colored paper with like a a pretty ribbon, and he slides it over, and was a big help. Got me, got to the store just in time.
And does a big smile. They're proud of themselves.
Lynn accepts the box and carefully, meticulously undoes the ribbon. They have these long, elegant fingers that you've always admired on them.
Yeah, and got
as
their chin in their hands watching.
As they, like, excitedly but carefully open the present. Like, this... Yamada was always very meticulous when they were excited for something, like taking great care not to rip any of the wrapping
Yeah,
paper,
they
like
always
saving
save
every
their
moment.
wrapping paper and the ribbons. That was all like perfectly placed aside, always.
Yeah. And unveils a music box. And they open up the lid, and inside are two little figures that dance around to the song that played at their wedding. And they, like, do a little gasp and a beaming smile that, like, gets teary at the edges because they're just so happy. They clutch their heart and then, like, reach across the table to, like, grab Greg's hand and squeeze it, and just, like, Greg asks, "You like it?" And they go, "I love it!" Like, lean over and do a quick little kiss.
And's grinning and like kicking
Over
their
the
legs under the
table.
table.
Yeah. And Lynn reaches over and ruffles your hair and pulls you in for, like, a little kiss on the forehead. "Thank you, sweetie. I love it so much."
Look, it's got Papa's painting on the inside. See? Did you see it?
I saw it. That's the skyline.
Yeah.
It's just, like, very cute. Your food arrives, and Greg starts, like, animated telling the story of, like, how he met Yamada at Gold Dragon while they were traveling, and
Yeah, And's heard this before, but they like to hear it again.
It's one of Greg's favorite stories to tell, and it's one of your favorite stories to hear because he always makes so fun.
Yeah, he always thought he was way out of Mada's league.
Yeah. It's just a very cozy, sweet night, and, like, obviously it is well past your bedtime before you get home, but you do see, while you're, like, drowsing off in this, like, booth table at the restaurant, that Greg asks Lynn to dance with him.
Nah, I hoped so.
Yeah. There's, like, a little band in the corner playing some nice music. Greg has clearly slipped the frontman some gold, like a gold piece, to play their wedding song.
Nah.
And dance. Last dance of the night before you pack up and head home.
Yeah.
You remember your Mata basically having to scoop you up,
Yeah.
and
Basically
you
carry
do
me.
not remember the trip home at all. You just remember being tucked into bed by both your parents.
Yeah. A good day.
Yeah.
Luca looks, like, mystified by the story.
And as a
Pardon?
note, probably did not mention the last name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cross that out from my notes then.
Oh my god. God. Hey, can I just have an aside?
The flashbacks give the audience extra information that the characters don't get.
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh my god.
Get up.
Okay.
Back up.
I'll get in character.
Back it on.
Yeah, so Enders
Pack it on,
told
yeah.
their story. They would have probably told about getting the music box and about the music box and been very light on the details about the actual dinner. But
Yeah.
mostly it was about
Did
their
they-
very important mission to go to the store and pick up the music box for their papa.
Yeah, right before closing,
Yes.
all alone while they are 6.
Yeah. Well, 6 in Sharn.
Look, it the first time you get sent to do like any errand on your own as a child, like
It's very
infant,
yes.
it is so big and monumental.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're being like
Aw.
taken seriously as an adult now. You're a 6-year-old adult.
Yes. I can't
I'm
mess
gonna
this
insight. Oh.
Big kid
I'm
now.
excited.
up.
Oh.
I'm a big kid now.
Insight.
What was that
check.
invite for?
Ends vibes while they're telling the story.
I think you see that they're fond. They're smiling
Yeah.
about it.
They're
Nice.
they're fond.
I don't think
they're
you
warm.
can. I don't think there's much to read else into it. There's a lot of cooing and giggling.
We know
as,
that it was
like-
the parents' wedding
Yeah.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Yes.
And egged you on to guess
Cute.
it, and Varys guessed correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, Willow's gonna pour another. Oh, I don't think everyone's finished their last one.
Luca has. He's going hard.
Oh,
I
Willow
think
might pour your water.
Willow pours more water for Luca.
yeah. And then we'll raise the glass. What's this toast?
Fond
To a
memories.
tiny. Yes, to a tiny N, making the very best for their parents' anniversary.
And
Yeah.
shrugs. You're here.
Their first act of crime, probably. I'm not sure how it was crime, but I've decided it's a crime. It's a crime to be that adorable. Yep, there we go.
I mean,
Hey, here.
I almost shattered the window door on the shop, so that was an
With
almost crime.
your face.
With my
your
face.
first act of vandalism. Congratulations.
My face print is probably still on there.
That's impressive.
And it's gonna like pinch their cheek and like stretch it out a bit beyond how it's supposed
Yeah.
to stretch on a normal person, and then let it spring
Yeah.
back.
Oh, what?
I think Willow's.
Cat
Going
says
to, like-
careful. He's a pincher.
Are we both reaching to N's face? Oh, no, Luca's constipated about
Luca-
this.
Yeah, Luca won't touch them.
Yeah, I think Willow's going to reach and then pause and be like, "Do that again."
And will.
Oh.
It makes like a slap noise, just a little bit. Like
that-
a
Willow very
soft
much looks like-
tortilla hitting a plate.
Oh my god.
Willow's very much got the like itchy hands of like they want to just grab both of N's cheeks and pull like
As
Yeah,
hard as
see
they
how far
can.
it goes.
And
But,
seen
like, they
those
won't.
hands before. Anne's gonna
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah, Willow goes back to their drink, holds their beverage. Like, okay, very nice, very nice.
Congratulations to your first act of crime somehow.
Thanks, Luca.
Child labor, totally.
Love.
Yeah,
Yes.
child labor.
Cats.
That's the one.
Cats. You tell us story
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, cat.
An
What about
exciting-
you?
Okay. Exciting.
Oh,
Oh.
whatever.
Bore us to death if you like.
Nah. It's kind of hard to think of anything more exciting than, what we just did. Like,
Oh, I know. What's that one you told me? Like, the high seas or something. I don't know.
she, shrugs, saw, God, what was it? Yeah, pretty sure we saw a dragon turtle one time, way in the distance.
Ooh.
It was coming up for air, and there was this huge huge plume of steam
Ooh.
Oh.
before it dived back under. It was like, I thought it was a rock at first, and like almost nobody else saw it, but it was real. It was like a real. There was like moss and coral on its shell and everything.
God, do I know what a
Whereabouts?
dragon turtle is?
Does Luca know?
Yes.
Make a nature check or history. Nature or history.
Oh, my best subjects. I'm going nature because we never use that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it should have been another one.
Oh, disadvantage.
Yep.
Right.
There we go. That checks
That's
out.
nice. Look like
Sounds
I got
like
it. I don't have it.
Sounds like a really big turtle.
Yeah, a big turtle. Cool.
Where was that?
I mean, oh man, I think that was south. I think that was between like. I think we were close-ish to the Dragon Reach. So like, I guess next to Kyubara, but like further out to sea.
Nods. Nod.
Like closest to Aeronol-ish. You know?
Nod.
Are you gonna go and try and find it, Willow? With your
Who
new
says I haven't
galleon?
already.
Oh. Well, Cat has, so Cat's more impressive than you right now.
That's fair. Well, Willow's gonna.
Okay,
Is that the end of the
Willow's
story? Or?
like, nope. Yeah, that's the end of Cat's story. Cat asks, okay, your turn, Luca.
Wait. Willow's going to raise a glass first for Cat to dragon turtles or something. Quickly.
Yeah. The dragon
Good
turtles.
dragon turtle.
Just
Yeah.
loud, drains glass,
Yep.
turns
Wait,
it upside
God?
down so that she stops drinking.
God, do I remember
Horrible.
anything about my childhood?
Oh.
Make an intelligence check at disadvantage.
Oh.
Whoa!
Whoa. Maybe the beer opened up your brain for memories
Maybe.
to slip through.
I think the thing you remember is that one winter day, you went out and it had snowed really heavily, like heavier than it normally does. And you were so excited that you just like woke up at the crack of dawn, basically, and spent hours building a giant snow figure. You didn't want it to be a man, so you basically built like a really chunky horse out of snow
Aww.
as a kid,
Oh my god.
and it took you like all day, more or less.
Well,
And you were so proud of it. Like, you got like rope and everything. You got like a harness and everything. You made it big enough so that you could actually sit on it and like pretend to ride it.
Oh my god.
I knew it.
I knew it. Right? Oh my god. He would have put the blanket over it, like he was going to put a saddle on it too. And
Oh.
oh
Yeah.
my god.
Honey bun.
Yeah,
He would have
you
made
basically
sure.
you basically borrowed like either you took or you borrowed tack, like real horse
of
equipment,
course.
and like made it onto the horse. It was a little. The legs were very, very oddly proportioned because you couldn't get them tall enough and thin enough. But you could sit on it. So
Honey.
It would have looked like a sausage dog with a saddle on it.
yeah, a little bit.
Who did I?
So, yeah. I won't really share that though.
No.
No. I feel like everyone's told a story. I should tell a story.
Yeah. Kat
Yeah.
says, how'd you end up living in a clinic?
Oh, I suppose I haven't really told you.
Yeah, I don't think you
Any
told
of
us
you.
exactly how you met Elsa or any of that, really.
Right. Well, it is not as interesting as you would probably want it to
Come
be.
on, Luca.
Come on.
I was traveling into Regal Port as a hired muscle. I was playing bodyguard to this merchant. She was very, very stingy, is the nicest way I can think of saying it. And she assumed that all the other poor people on the ship were going to steal her money and her wares and such. So she saw me and was like, he also looks poor. He will do anything for money, which I did, you know. And we entered, I was with the other fellows from the camp, and we ended up in Wriggleport, and Are we go-
Elsa?
yeah, she was there too. Are we going to be role playing this out, Zeke, or
Yes,
am I just
we
gonna
are. I
tell
was
it?
just
Yeah.
waiting for the setup, basically.
Yeah.
The setup line of like,
There you go.
Oh, I see.
And
Oh, yeah.
I pretty much just bumped into Seeker Elsa, and
Yeah.
one thing led to another.
So, we cut back to, I would say it's been 8 months now since that day in Regalport. Autumn,
Yeah.
gray skies, threatening rain come nightfall, but not yet. Still dry, maybe a little bit of drizzle. You were wandering about, not really sure if you were looking for something in particular or just like needed to stretch your legs and move about. You ended up in a district where there was a bigger Blood of Vol temple.
Yeah.
And there was something about it that like seemed familiar to you. You knew that like that was a thing about Karnath, is that they used undead, and the Blood of Vol religion is associated with the undead, so you were hoping maybe something would knock loose in there. And you were so busy like looking at the architecture and like trying to think that you didn't notice when Seeker Elsa stumbled into you and spilled just an armload of packages on the floor. And she immediately was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I couldn't see you past the parcels."
Oh, no. That was my doing. I'm so sorry. Let me get those for you, and I'll
So-
start picking them up slowly.
Yeah. There's like medical supplies you can see, and like heavy bundles of clothes. Like sizable, like this. Seeker Elsa isn't small, but like this is clearly like a lot of stuff. It is. Her bags are stuffed, basically.
Is this all for you?
Oh no, I'm taking it back to the village I'm in. I wanted to hand out some warmer clothes for the coming winter.
You're not from Regalport?
No, I live in a little village. I run a clinic there. It's about an hour by the ferry, actually. She
is,
tries. She like thanks you for picking up the stuff and holds her hands out for it, basically.
This is a lot. Why don't I take it for you?
Oh, you don't need to do that, but thank you.
Of course.
If you could just, I do need to go catch the ferry now.
I'll take you.
Thank you. My name is Elsa. I'm a seeker of the divinity within. What's your name?
Kind of look blankly at her for a second. Luca. My name is Luca.
It's nice to meet you, Luca.
Nice to meet you as well.
And you walk down to the ferry together and you sort of start talking. She's very easy to talk to. You
Yeah.
find? Like, you've mostly been spending your time amongst relatively rough company during your travels, if only because that's part of traveling, is that people who do it for so far and so long tend to be a little more brusque, tend to be a little louder, but Seeker Elsa is very sweet and soft-spoken and clearly kind. She's chatting about how there are some families that live closer to her village that have young children, and she runs the clinic and shrine there. So she was collecting extra clothing to hand out at the winter, so that families who maybe couldn't afford to spend a whole day doing shopping in Regalport would be ready for the coming cold. And she talks a little bit with you and how you're traveling towards Karnath, that you're not real, you're sort of drifting your way towards there. And she talks about having lived in Karnath before herself. Specifically on the northern coast. And it just ends up being very comfortable chatter. You get on the ferry with her. I think at some point she's like, "Oh, we're at the ferry. Thank you so much for helping." And you were like so much enjoying her company. And you could see that she was like obviously still a little overburdened from her errands, that you just said that you might as well go with her.
Yeah.
And she was happy to do that. And she invited you for dinner. It was very easy to talk to her and just be a normal person for a bit. She gives you the same kind of feeling of relief that sitting down after a long trek does. There's like this pressure that is lifted, like this ease that comes with being in Seeker Elsa's company. So you're just having a good time chatting with this older woman about this and that, and hearing about her time.
And I do give her like a little overview of my own experience, just so she knows why I'm kind of absent and not really sure about things when she asks me.
Yeah. I think she's very understanding about that and very sympathetic. I think she reaches out when you say that and like gives you a gentle squeeze on your arm. Her hands are like worn but warm. She's clearly worked a lot in her life. That's just very comforting to have this kind of personal connection almost immediately.
Yes.
You eat dinner with her in her kitchen together while chatting. You have tea together. It starts to rain. Then she says, "Oh, the weather's so dreadful. Why don't you just stay the night? I have a spare room I could make up for you."
I wouldn't want to impose. I can always
Please, please, it's not an imposition. I've been enjoying the company.
I would very much like that if you're willing.
And
Yeah.
she was very happy to.
And kind of just
so-
stayed.
Yeah. The next day you ended up doing chores to try and repay the favor, and then it just kind of kept going as this back and forth of kindness and helpfulness to the point where you just became a fixture. Had a lot of good conversations and became close friends very quickly, especially when Luca expressed interest in the Seekers of Divinity within, and Elsa started teaching you, basically.
And that's how you've come to know what? Nope, that's how Luca came to live in the poppy.
Willow
Seeker
looks
Elsa
fond.
is a remarkable woman, isn't she?
She is. She really is. Drinks. Awkward.
Nope. Willow's going to put their hand on Luca's arm and say, pointedly, to Seeker Elsa.
To
Seeker Elsa.
Clink.
I'm very glad she took you in so we could meet.
Yeah.
If it weren't for that, none of this would have happened. And gestures around the table. You think
She
about
actually, she's actually the one who told me about Willow. I don't know how she found out, but one morning I woke up and my arm was just dreadful. And she
was-
mentioned,
Screamed when we first met.
she mentioned there was
a
she mentioned there was a very dreadful person down at the docks that might be able to
actual
help.
quote.
Yes.
But brave
very
old Luca
Elsa-like.
was not deterred.
Of course.
No.
And then you
No.
two ended up at the lighthouse.
And then we met the cutest little criminal with stretchy cheeks.
And gives a little, like, grin. Like, yes, I am the cutest.
Gosh, that's where we met Captain Varys too.
Yeah,
That was a very
That's what I'm saying. If it weren't for Elsa, I don't know if any of us would be here right now.
yeah.
Not like
Oh.
this.
To salvage
The
The
salvage.
salvage.
your
And
drink. Clink.
Bruno for making salvage. Yeah?
Yeah.
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 I do actually imagine Willow was late to the. You guys all said to salvage, and then Willow's been leading the toasts. That one came late. They raised their glass after everyone else did. Agreed quietly.
Yeah.
But then they do laugh at at Luca. Like, oh, you remember
Yeah.
that part?
Yeah. I listen. I don't always understand
course.
what you say, but I listen.
Indeed.
Speaking of listening, I believe it is well past time for us to turn in.
Aww.
No, we were just having fun. What time is it?
It's like 1 a.m.
Captain's
I was-
word, remember. We
Yes,
have to
yes.
listen.
We have to obey.
Well, technically, we don't have to. Just saying.
I mean, we
You
agreed.
planning on mutinying now?
Over bedtime? Absolutely.
Who's a 6-year-old now?
Okay. Wall, run her into her.
It was a glass wall.
Sorry, door. Wall or door?
Door. I was half
Door
right.
slammer. Yep.
You're
Willow
the one
heard
who got
themselves say
caught
door runner into her.
sabotaging a ship, which I think
Yes, and I got a job out of it.
I got a music box. And praise from my parents.
The highest treasure you could ever hope for.
Exactly.
Fine,
Did we-
win. Jeez. I'll go to bed. What
Yeah,
was Luca about to say?
He took a drink to silence himself.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Cat, like, totters up and sort of slouches over Willow and Luca's shoulders. It's like, okay, carry me to bed.
Oh,
I think Willow can take care of that.
you think?
Yep.
Willow drops like the jug of water in front of Luca and taps it pointedly, like drink you are.
I will
And we'll
drink
push
water.
it closer.
Yeah.
Just to second that
Okay.
notion.
Yeah. Willow will like hoist themselves under Cat's arm.
Yeah. She isn't leaning that heavily on you, but she is
Yeah.
like,
Doing it for effect.
yeah.
And Willow is pretending it's like a big ordeal for effect
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. You're both like making a big show of
Yeah.
struggling to get downstairs.
Yeah.
No, we've been sentenced to bedtime.
Meh, boo.
Anne's gonna do like a salute like you might do, like say farewell to a ship. Sinking
will-
ship.
Oh my god.
Varys waves all of you off with just like a scoff of like, okay.
I'm gonna tidy up before we go to bed, though, because that's who I am.
I'm gonna help because
Yeah.
Luca's drunk and I just want to make sure he's managing okay.
Yeah.
Hurry along, old man needs his rest.
Of course.
Keep calling me old man and you'll find yourself with pockets full of water.
Oh.
Varys is a
Sound it
little bit
out.
drunk as well.
Very big pockets.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh! You heard him.
Did I just pardon? Repeat, rewind the episode. Beg your pardon.
Varys heads behind the curtain and like draws it shut.
Did he just talk? Wait, what did he just?
Did
He
you
just swore at
actually
Willow.
not hear?
You
Did
were
he just
halfway.
say fuck you?
You were halfway
Yes,
down
he
the
said
stairs.
fuck you to Willow.
Oh, I think you were
I
in
actually
that
didn't
one.
hear because you guys were talking.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god! I thought it was a fuck you. Like I thought I heard like the background. Oh my god! Willow pauses and goes, like slack jawed,
Shocked, appalled.
We warned you.
impressed.
Cat
Impressed.
laughs so hard.
I feel. Willow's gonna look at Luca. That's the second time.
I give Willow the hands. So they think that I'm agreeing with Varys, saying fuck you.
Yeah, okay.
And it's gonna
And
start
you were
collecting the
like-
dishes.
And she's just like, I guess you just have that effect on people.
Apparently. Willow like laughs big as they head down the stairs again. That's very funny.
Yeah.
They're just shocked.
And one by one, you all tumble into bed.
Actually,
Yeah.
Oh my
I was
God.
gonna talk to N for a sec, if that's
Oh.
alright.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, one by one, Willow and Cat tumble into bed.
Yeah.
Good for them.
They get snuggy. Not that snuggy, just a little snuggy.
No, they do a little hug and then separate into their own hammocks. 'cause-
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Okay, I have a question. Are hammocks two peopleable?
With great difficulty.
Probably not these ones. These ones feel like they're like slim by choice to fit in
Yeah,
this
yeah.
sort of little ship.
They're solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just like little neck nozzles and like stuff like that. I imagine like goofy
Yeah.
shit. Blows a raspberry
Yeah.
and catch cheek and leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anne's cleaning up dishes. Pretty much trying to take the lead on this because Luca's tipsy and like we don't want anything to break, and also you just sit there and you drink your water, big guy.
Oh no, he's helping. He's
Yeah.
just a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luca is doing the
I know-
exaggerated care of somebody who has just stood up and realized
Yeah.
how drunk they are.
I know I can't stop him, so I'll just let him help.
I'll dry the
Yep.
dishes. Just checking in.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
You good? You kind of sloshed.
Very good. Thank you.
Mm.
Just wanted to make sure it wasn't an issue that Kai was present.
No? You asked for him.
Yeah, but you said he was protection. Did you need protection, or were you just...
No?
No?
That's probably the first time he showed up. Not for protection, air quotes. But no. Not necessarily.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah.
I just needed a timeout. That's not a bad thing.
Too much excitement.
Something like that.
Thank you for sharing with us.
Back at you.
Mine was nothing. Everyone
Luca.
knows.
Now we know because you told us. It's a story, and it's important. It's part of your story, Luca. And that's a very important story to tell.
You're very dramatic sometimes.
Oh, you just noticed?
Can I know your parents' names? Or is that something you'd rather not share?
Gregory and Lynn. Papa and Mata.
Luca takes a moment like he's committing those very much to memory.
And is focusing on the dishes and putting them away. Make sure everything's just right. Meticulous.
Well, if I ever meet them, I would like to thank them for you. Nudge them very slightly. Not like a super deep touch. Very slight.
Yeah. That's sweet, Luca.
Okay. Well, if you're alright, then you're alright.
I'm fine.
Yeah. Cool. Someone is.
Don't tell me you were drowning your sorrows on all night, big guy.
I would never do that, would I?
I know the look. You want to talk about anything? I told you I'm open ears.
I don't think I'm ready to talk yet.
That's fair. But I'm here if you do. I know there are people you'd probably much rather talk to, but an ear is an ear.
Do I know that Anne's father was a halfling? At all?
I don't know if En would have mentioned that detail.
No. Okay, never mind then. If your cheeks can stretch, can your ears stretch too?
Everything is stretchy. I'm a changeling.
So if I pulled your ears and just it come out
Yep.
like Captain Varys.
Yep. You could make big long ears or big halfling ears. You could stretch me into all sorts of shapes.
Could I pull your ears down and make them like down to your shoulders?
Maybe not that far.
Hmm.
I'm not a child anymore. I've lost a little bit of my elasticity.
Oh, right. I remember reading that. Well, if you're okay, then we're okay. Okay. Did you know that Willow is a pirate? Are you as shocked as I am?
Yeah, it is pretty shocking.
Imagine the scene kind of peters there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make a few, like, random jokes. And there's probably a moment where, like, Luca nearly fumbles the plate, but you save it.
Yeah.
And then you both head down to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is fish
Cat
dog with anyone
is-
tonight?
I think Kat is like sleepily rambling to Willow
Aw.
about one thing or another.
Fish Dog's probably just floating around. Oh, like actually no, Fish Dog's probably resting on
Yeah.
Willow's workbench.
Yeah,
Or Willow left them on the table.
yeah.
Actually, yeah, left them on the table. There's no reason for them to come back down.
Yep.
So you guys can bring it down
So-
if you want.
You could scoop Fish Dog up off the dinner
Yeah.
table.
And is going to give Fish Dog to Luca and go to bed.
Ah, new sleeping companion.
Gonna make sure you don't
I-
throw up on yourself.
Oh God, no! I'm gonna sleep with my head over the edge, so if I throw up, it just goes onto the floor.
Wise man.
This is not my first rodeo.
Oh my god, you're
Good.
so right. I think Fish... Yeah. No, En's right. Fish Dog would be
Yep.
around Luca because he's poisoned.
Stupid motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you hear Kat vaguely talking about a previous encounter. Is Willow down to hear that sort of thing of like funny stories of like previous amorous encounters
Yeah.
with other people?
Willow finds it funny.
Is she
Yeah.
gonna tell us a funny story about when she got happy timed?
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
So, like, as you're falling asleep, you hear Kat sort of chatting about. So, I was staying at a golden dragon, a gold dragon, and I was talking to this really nice halfling lady. Turns out, well, it wasn't until like I was undoing her laces that I saw the dragon mark on her shoulder, and figured out that she was stuff.
Did you get a discount?
I wish. But I didn't get kicked out.
Talk about customer
Well, this-
service.
Oh, Luca.
Ugh.
Just make sure you don't puke, Luca. The hammock's going to sway.
It's gonna sway no
And-
matter what.
We're on a ship.
Kind of name
Well,
the
Same
game.
just don't roll out of it.
Mm.
Speaking of customer service,
Hmm?
Kat like does a finger gun towards Luca. You need a wing woman, big man?
Always.
Do you? Oh, he does. Yeah, we
Yeah,
actually.
he does.
Yeah. Ann and I were his wings on his birthday party.
Well, I
Ooh,
can,
nice.
Got him a
I
nice
can
catch
manage
too.
just fine on my. It
Oh,
was
we know.
wonderful.
You got
Oh, he
caught.
was- He was wonderful.
Everyone knows.
Oh boy.
What did you hear?
From my boat?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You two were together that night. What were you doing?
Looking
I-
at ends. Oh,
I remember
Crimes, Ed?
coming to your ship. Yeah.
Pretty sure it
What
was
were you
crimes.
was it crimes?
Pretty
Yeah, I
sure
think it was
book
crimes. Probably crimes.
Our usual book
Of course.
crimes.
Of course. Of course.
Yes.
Where'd you find this gentleman?
Was it a gold dragon? Yeah.
It was a gold dragon.
Yeah. How symmetrical of us.
Yeah.
They are the biggest chain
In-
of hotels in Corvair.
I know.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
What are
okay,
the
gold
odds?
dragon, but where?
In salvage.
Oh. I need to take you down to Regalport sometime.
Here we go.
Why? What's in Regalport?
Oh, all sorts
Another
of things.
gold dragon.
Like 10 of them, but no, I'm talking about the Red Lantern District. Lots of pretty faces there.
Oh, I've never been to one.
Do you know what it
Ever?
is?
Willow sits up. Willow sits up in their hammock.
Never needed
Looking
to.
over at Luca. Oh, of course, yes. Willow lies back down. I forgot. Did Luca tell us about how he met the person he spoke about last time? Did you mention a farm?
Yeah. Yep.
I did.
Yeah, I think Willow's going to say, of course, you just pick up on farms and then lie back down.
Actually, I was helping. I was helping the innkeeper with. I make an arm gesture, cutting some wood, and he just came across me.
And the eyebrows like slowly go up, like, I'm sure you were.
I think, Cat and Willow both laugh, and like it just dissolves into giggles till like you fall asleep drunkenly in your hammocks, feeling cheery after a good night of laughing and bonding, sharing stories. But
montage through the
yes,
ship home. I still want to talk to that elemental.
Of course.
Yes.
I got it in my mind, trust me.
Wait, can I roll to see if I'm hungover? I would love to know.
yes, please make a Constitution saving throw.
Hell yeah.
Just straight.
Ooh.
You are hungover the next day.
Hey, even if we don't montage, I think the next morning you're going to be woken by Fish Dog basically being beep boop. You're drunk.
I'm drunk. I'm hungover.
Does Luca respond to like? I just imagine the look of disappointment from Fish Dog.
Oh no! Look what you've done.
He's not disappointed in you, but I just wonder if Luca would project that onto it.
Probably, honestly.
Don't look at me.
I needed it.
I think. Oh, do we all have to do wisdom?
No, it was
Constitution
Luca
saving?
specifically
Luca
because
was poisoned.
because Luca had drank too much.
Yeah. Willow's willing to do the chat with the elemental the very next day.
Yeah.
End's cool
If
with
you
it
want
too.
Can Lucas stay in bed, or does he have to work?
He can say.
I think Luca has a lie-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll
I
bring him
think
a
Willow,
cold towel.
yeah,
Thank you.
cold towel, and I imagine Willow digs up like some generic, like non-magical painkiller,
Yeah.
like some willow bark tea or something, just like something to like settle your head.
And
Thank you.
very, very attentive to drunken Luca or hand hungover Luca. Like they've seen this before. They know how to tend to this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you have an extra hour of lie-in.
But yeah, other than making sure Luca's quote unquote
Alive.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah. Luckily it was a 9 and not any lower. Otherwise, you would be worse off. Let's say.
He's almost right. He just needs a little while to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a lie-in and some fresh air
Take your time.
will do the trick.
Mhm.
So, around is the elemental talk just Willow and N, or
I think we're going to include Varus,
yeah,
so it would have to happen when he's not steering or anything.
yep. The 26 is cold and windy, but
Windy. Sorry.
cold and
fucking
windy. Fuck. Man.
Yeah. Sorry.
Cold and windy, so there is like a good breeze, and it's luckily blowing in the right direction to take you towards salvage. You don't have to steer too much into the wind. And Varus asks if you want to try integrating the elemental into the steering, or if that's what the plan is for today.
Yes. Or Willow wants to try in general.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. So, what does it look like as you set that up?
What does it look like? What do you mean by that?
How are you going to try and integrate the elemental? What are you aiming for when talking to it?
I think the first thing Willow wants to do is to observe. The reason why they want both Varys and End there is because they want to observe like the classic way of speaking to the elemental versus End's unusual way of speaking to the elemental.
Jury rigged.
And see, yeah. So basically they want to bring Varys on to say, do what you would do with your knowledge, with your mark, and then we'll make N do what comes naturally to them and see what happens. And how effective you can both be. So I think one of the first things would be like both introduce yourself to it and then also both give it like a simple instruction and see what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even before they get equipped to the steering and stuff, Willow wants to just see what the handshake between their different forms of magic and then compare and jot down what's happening.
Sure.
Alrighty.
Let's roll persuasion checks.
Okay.
Yumi's old. I don't mean it like that. Don't swear. Don't cuss me out again.
Varys is actually he would have advantage because of
Dragon Mark.
Oh.
yeah. Varys is trying to talk to it, but like he's struggling a little bit, and he turns to Willow and says, "This is pretty unusual. Normally there's not much conversation involved."
Of course. I'm just seeing something.
Can I make the water do a flip inside the crystal?
Yeah.
Varys like, I'm kind of struggling, and like, do a flip.
Literally in the background, I'm imagining as Varys is talking to Willow, End's gonna like do a little circular motion with their finger while they're using their awakened mind, and the water's going to react. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Willow nyums over. You did that?
I think so.
Willow has like a very obvious moment of like the excitement just filled their chest, but then they've like exhaled it so that they aren't like getting over the top. So they are going to. Can we try that once more?
Sure, why not? Varys is like obviously a little bit struggling because the way that the Mark of the Storm usually works is that it's channeled through something. Here it's just him bare bones trying to talk to a creature.
Yeah. Willow understands that too. He is at a disadvantage because he mentioned earlier that you talk to it in a different way if you are a captain or if you are using the mark. So Willow knows that, but they're still just observing. Oh, same.
Samesies.
Well, I think on a 13, the elemental briefly does some things and then quickly loses interest and goes back to flowing through.
Needs more excitement.
Maybe we should try. Can Zeke, would it be able to propel the boat?
Yes. What you basically need to do is engage the engine. You have it in neutral currently, to use car terms.
Well, because N just said that, Willow's going to shoot N a big grin and also Varys and say, then shall we try something a little more exciting?
I think I'd better head upstairs. If we're going to be doing that, make sure it doesn't dash up on neighboring rocks.
Keep an eye on it.
But he does seem willing to try. He's just taking
very well
obvious precautions.
I think N's going to start using their detect thoughts as we get into this to kind of keep track of the elemental's vibes during this.
Okay. Which means that
does N indicate anything when they're using detect thoughts?
Their eye
run
starts
a coin
to glow.
over them.
Yeah, and they run a coin. Their eye glows a little bit, and they run a coin over their fingers. A copper.
Okay.
They run a
Oh,
copper on
do I
their
have to-
knuckles.
Yeah.
Do I have to perception check that, or can I just know that because I see N doing that?
I don't think En's trying to hide it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I believe it is. You're just reading surface thoughts, yes?
For now. I'm probably not gonna try and like poke it with a stick while we're trying to
Yeah.
make it run in the engine. I'll do that after.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Okay. Okay. In which case, it just seems like it's doing what it does.
Ooh.
It's in a neutral state as you detect thoughts.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and keep an eye on it while we.
Varys gives a call down to say he's at the ready.
Willow's going to gesture at N quickly when Varys walks away and says, they're going to gesture at the coin, sort of quietly suggest, what are you doing?
Helps me concentrate.
On?
And points at their brain and points at the crystal.
I would say, Willow, you seeing that gesture, it's spell-like.
Yeah.
You know
Willow's
that
basically-
N is casting a spell. Just
I imagine Willow was asking specifically, confirm whether it's the mind reading spell.
Yeah. No. And gestures
Yeah.
to their head and points
just
to the yeah.
Yeah.
Points to the shard.
Yeah, Willow nods like, thank you for the confirmation, and then they are very intrigued. They're a bit excited, I think, while they get the engine, they connect the engine, put it into drive, basically.
yes.
Yep.
And we'll
Okay,
keep watching
then
the
Willow's
crystal.
going to... Yeah. You imagine that's a lever, Zeke?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Willow's going to pull the lever, and then say to N, at your leisure.
What should I say to it?
Whatever comes to mind. Willow's saying, say it in your
Yeah.
own words, basically, because you're speaking your own language.
Yeah. Well, okay. Awakened mind. We would like you to do what you do best and help make our ship go.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check. Just
Okay.
straight.
Hmm?
Okay. So there is a brief flicker as the elemental notices that the drive has been engaged and therefore there is more room for it to flow. It rushes through and there is a sudden jolt as it starts speeding up.
Oh,
Hey!
huh. Look at that.
How's Luca handling this in the next room over?
Yeah.
I think Luca's like up and about at this point. I think this is like,
Yeah,
in the
no.
afternoon.
Luca staggers like someone on the bus. That's
Yeah, I think all of you like
Yeah.
stagger a little bit as there is a sudden.
yeah, and his hands like smack down on the base of the crystal because they're standing near it.
Yep. There is a sudden rush, and then for a minute, what do you do?
That's good.
It's
Oh,
a start.
I'll say to the elemental. That's
Oh.
good. Yes.
Okay. Willow's going to let it go for a sec, just to make sure it's not just like, the engine starting up. It's not just the water elemental moving on its own.
Mhm.
And then I think after confirming that is a result of what N just said, they're going
Yep.
to ask N, please ask it to stop.
Right. Could you please stop now?
Make another persuasion check. It slows to a stop. And you are just being propelled by the wind.
And laughs. Look at that. And gives like the biggest most genuine smile I've ever seen.
Willow's also smiling. I think they are also smiling big. Like this is a massive
Yeah.
whoa. But when they see N smile, they kind of falter because whoa, they are smiling very large. They hesitate for a second, then offer their hand for a high five.
Yeah, that's gonna meet that right. They were already thinking about it.
Actually, Actually, you know what? Willow goes back and offers both hands.
Yeah.
Starting and stopping, and then they clap.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a start. And a stop.
Right again.
Alright. And we'll try again. You please
One more
propel us
persuasion
forward.
check.
Faster this time.
Faster.
Oh.
There's a brief lurch, and then
Aw.
nothing happens.
Maybe we tired the
It
poor
lost
thing
interest. Nope. It just seems, as you are reading its thoughts, you can tell it is just not feeling like it.
out. Iris wasn't kidding
imagine-
about it being like a child.
Willow's going to literally like hold the base of it and like talk to the elemental. Like, come on. It'd be very cool if you did that.
There's no reaction,
And
as
we'll
it cannot
try.
understand you.
And we'll try to translate. Like, it'd be very, very cool if you did that.
Ah, well. Good start.
Now it knows.
Yeah.
You can't have
You
everything
think-
in the first go.
Yeah. This is a promising start. It does seem that you would need to train the elemental
Yeah.
to actually listen to you.
Yeah. Can
Yeah,
I...
that's fine. I think
I still want to try and delve deeper now that we're not in motion. Like, when the engine is shut down, when it's no longer connected to making us go, I want to
Mm-hmm.
try and go deeper and just see what happens.
Okay. What's
I do-
the
Go ahead. Go
Can you
ahead.
do that while Willow's rambling in the background? I imagine Willow is literally like, we can't have it on our first go, otherwise we put Lyrander out of the job. And in any case, what is happening here is that the animal it appears to operate like an animal, almost like you are taming a young sheep. If you were to say, not that you tame a sheep, like they're just going on.
And is nodding.
and on.
Like, they're pretending they're listening, but they're trying to focus in.
So there's more apt to say training a dog or some sort that runs. No, a horse, a chariot. A horse and chariot is what we are training at the moment. That's what Willow is just like in the background, constantly pacing around the elemental and like just gaslighting about all their ideas about this
Yep, and is half
Okay.
listening.
and the potential.
Yep.
Nevertheless, the implications of it all.
So that's a wisdom saving throw.
I believe so, yes. Of
Yes,
wisdom
what's the DC?
14.
Well, it fails tremendously.
It's
What you looking for?
Let's see. I guess what interests it? What does it like? Is there anything like that in there?
Here's an interesting thing about elementals. They do not need food or drink or sleep, as they are beings of basically magic that their impulse is to manifest the element that they are. But the thing that does sort of feed it in a sense is more magic. So you could literally feed it either magical components, so stuff like dragon shards. You would use dragon shard dust to enhance the engine materials, basically. Because the way it is at the moment is that it is contained within the Kyber Dragon Shard, and that magical energy sustains and binds it to this plane, basically. But you could also infuse the actual, like, tubing with more dragon shards, or you can spend a pure spell slot to give it a boost.
Temporarily?
Yep.
Interesting.
So you can feed it, like, pure magical energy. It does take some finagling to do that in a successful way, but it is not an uncommon thing to do in terms of, like, how elemental engines work. Is just, like, a lot of magical vehicles will work on, like, a spell slot
Right.
for a given amount of time.
Fair enough.
Obviously, the higher the spell slot, the more potent the power.
Yes.
So yeah, you can bribe it with magic.
Cool.
Hmm.
And does it have any opinion of us?
It is currently neutral towards you. It's glad to be out of the thing, but at the moment it what did I write down? It serves its own whims, basically.
Hmm.
It considers you neither a threat nor a friend. Yeah.
Fair enough. Anything you want to ask it, Willow? Ben's gonna
Big
say,
bud?
like, while Willow's still rambling and staring, like,
Yeah.
focused on the shard.
Ah, are you speaking to it presently with your brain, or are you delving?
I'm delving. There's not a lot of time.
Well, how are you enjoying your lodgings?
Is neutral or it's where? How is it enjoying it?
It's definitely an improvement over where it was.
Likes it better than the Death Water.
Hmm. Where has it been before this? As if it knows.
Do you know where you've been before this, other than the Death Water?
I mean, it used to be powering the good fortune. It used to be stronger than it is now. It used to be a lot bigger. It used to be. You think it's shrunk, is what you sense, which might be the why you can like handle it in a sense. It used to be less aware because it didn't need to be.
Like anti, probably.
Maybe so.
Maybe. Willow's also thinking more.
We can do it again later.
Yes. Well, yes, apparently.
I will say that it finds these accommodations a little weird. Not
fair.
in a bad way, it's just different.
Yeah.
It's a Willow original, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Willow, and points out the door. Luca says to the elemental, I'm gesturing to each of us.
Willow's a bit giddy, and they just kind of shrug and go, "Just tell it to have a nice time."
Enjoy your stay.
There's a vague acknowledgement of your speaking to it, and then it just continues flowing as the
Yeah.
spell fades.
Yeah.
Yeah. Willow will shut the engine off as well, if they haven't already. And then I imagine them kind of like clapping their hand on N's shoulder and jostling them.
Yeah, I can't really deny it now, can I?
They shouldn't think you could do that.
No, not particularly. It's about as big of a surprise to you as it was to me.
Come, let's make sure that Luca didn't fall over.
Yes, very important. Got a lot of padding, but he can't be trusted.
Yeah, Willow's like smiling big, opens the door and like bounds out.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to do on the 26th?
No. I think N's gonna sit on the deck and break out the watercolor set that they got for their birthday and try to paint a bit.
Yeah. What did I previously ask for this? Was it sleight of hand or performance?
Performance, maybe?
I think I have proficiency in sleight of hand and not performance.
Okay, well, let's do sleight of hand then.
Willow's also going to go tell Varys about about the elemental.
Nice.
What do you paint?
What
do you choose to paint?
I'm gonna paint a scenery portrait of the ocean and like the scrap bucket of like the railing of the scrap bucket and the ocean and anything that can be seen, birds or whatever.
Yeah, I think you do a really nice shot of like clouds and sea surrounding the sails of the scrap bucket.
Yeah. Very nice. I'll include a little bit of that that flag that the birds hate so much.
Ah, yes. Very fun.
Yeah, and just out there painting.
So nice. I hope that cat's in the top sail is just watching. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's just such a
Yeah.
cute side thing to see. Would cat say anything? If En's painting, this cat can do a little pose. Get my good side! I'm kidding.
I think
don't know
Kat
about
would
music.
probably, if N seems into it, I don't think she'd like interrupt them.
No, yeah.
That's fair. And does
Okay.
seem to be enjoying themselves.
Nah.
I think
Yeah.
Kat like spots them, and while she's like going up and down to do various things, and has a little smile and
Nah.
elbows Willow at some point, and be like, "Check that out."
I'll say Ed
Willow
doesn't
does?
seem entirely familiar with the medium, but they are doing well with it,
Yeah,
despite that.
yeah.
You can tell by like little hesitations that they're not super skilled with this, but
Mm.
Yeah, you're still learning, but
this came
you're
out
taking
well.
to it.
Yeah.
The watercolor experience would be and is consistently like paint, dab, 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 paint, dab, 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 like just dabbing away their colors frequently.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So cute.
Turns out looking pretty good, your opinion.
Yeah,
Hmm.
not bad at all.
Aww.
Luca, would you like to do anything on this day?
You're
Hello?
muted, Sarah, if you don't know.
Drink lots of water.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luca,
gonna
you spend
say-
most of the day recovering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll check in on him periodically and like make sure he's doing okay. Bring him more tea or something
Mm.
if he needs it.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
I think Willow's got an exhilarated vibe today. That's like, yeah, it's
And it's probably gonna like offer like little high fives to Willow when they cross paths during the day, just like their little
just
secret.
to keep with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just seeing that Willow is carrying this energetic vibe throughout the day and gonna like offer their hand every time they pass.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think Luca is also slowly writing in his journal, trying to remember everything that happened yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's taking a bit longer.
These his
than it
drunken
normally would.
notes from the night before.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
what was I
Can
saying
hardly
here?
make them
Yes.
out. It's doctor's handwriting, but drunk doctor's
Oh, no.
handwriting. So it's like,
Oh, no.
what is this?
I also imagine like Willow is probably talking like blah 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 to Varys, and then like if Luke is there, they will also come to Luca and be like, "Did you feel the jolt in the boat earlier? That was N. N made that happen. You know how unprecedented that is for someone like N to make that happen out of nowhere."
And Luca will literally just put his shit down and just listen to Willow because it's easier. It's easier to listen to Willow and have no idea what they're saying than it is to try and write something right now.
Yeah. I do imagine Willow starts talking like what's the word jargon to Luca. Like they
Yeah.
don't mean to, but they've just started saying like, so you can tell by the way that the water is moving through, and they talk through all of these like words that Luca doesn't know before.
Yeah.
Doesn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is extremely inside baseball.
Yeah.
Willow is thrilled, and they like are as if not more energized than the day that Bruno said the boat was good.
And that's enough to keep Luca occupied. He is just happy that they are happy.
I
Yeah.
think Luca maybe asks a question or two for Willow to elaborate on something, and like Willow
Yeah.
just goes into a full
Yeah.
Tirade.
You're about to get a lesson.
lecture. Yeah, just like
Yeah.
dictionary definition.
I think the good thing about Luca is that he'll like Willow will explain the jargoniest thing you can imagine, and then Luca's like, okay, so what's a boat technically? And Willow's like, oh my, I thought you'd never ask, and then like talks at length about like
Amazing.
baseline structural seafaring things, because they're not going to
Yeah.
deep dive into like what you should know about an elemental engine, because that's protected knowledge. But like
Yes.
the but the
general
rest,
stuff.
if Luca wants to
Luca's
know
like-
about like boat building, Willow's there.
Yeah, and Willow. Yeah, Luca's like, what's the difference between a triangle and a square sail other than shape?
And then Willow's like, well, to understand that, we need to understand thermodynamics and like air pressure. So
It's a triangle. No, Willow will literally, if Luca indicates at all that he wants to learn, Willow will like bring out paper and fold paper to indicate sails and like make demonstrations of that kind of stuff. You know,
so cute.
like if he wants to know how the wind wraps around sails differently, Willow will rip out a piece of paper or take a piece of paper out of their pocket and like fold it and show him.
He will absolutely be interested.
Yeah, no, that's why I imagine they spend most of the day.
Yeah, I think you just have a fun time listening to Willow talk shop about their boat in detail.
Yeah,
like, even if I can't understand it, they are so enthusiastic. How could I not enjoy whatever it is they're saying?
It is a delight to listen to like an expert who is really excited talk about their field, even if you don't know all the details. It's like, cool, I am learning things. I don't know if I'll retain any of it, but it's nice to see you happy.
Yeah.
It's also just like it passes the time very quickly in between like making meals and doing the steering and the general tending of the ship. It's just like a pleasant day.
Yeah.
I also
now and then Kat and Varys have to drag Willow and Luca out of their their casual time to like tend sails.
Do work.
Yeah.
And Luca's like, I see the sail. That is the square sail. Yes.
Yeah. You like point to a part of the boat and this is like, that's this piece, this technical piece of knowledge. And Willow's like, you remembered a word.
Luca has to come away with it with some knowledge. Willow would it wasn't necessarily saying dumb it down, but like Willow wants to go away from this with knowledge. Simplify. Yes.
He learns, but he's not going to learn to the depth that Willow is able to explain it.
No, but you do have some. You do know what the yard arm is.
Yeah. What is it?
It's the horizontal thing on a sail.
Oh, okay. I know what that is. Yeah, now I know. I'm so educated.
Really illustrated it with like pencils on the dinner table.
I'm so educated now. I'm so smart.
Nope. The outer extremity of a ship's yard.
And so what's the yard?
Oh, it's the platform. The yard arm is the little... okay, so the yard is the horizontal bit. The yard arm is the bit that sticks out right at the end of the yard.
Okay. Okay.
So.
Okay. I'm learning.
So am I.
Yeah. Aren't we all? Oh, I see the thing that... Yes.
Yep.
I'm looking at it.
Cool.
Now.
The arms of the yard.
Yeah.
Yes. Giving you a hug.
Cool. In which case, we montage forward another day.
Yeah.
The 27th. The wind has eased up, so you're a little slower, but you made good time yesterday. It is your last day aboard the scrap bucket altogether before you get back to salvage.
Oh my god.
Oh god, I got feelings in my stomach. What is this? You remember feelings, right?
Feelings every goddamn day of my life.
Wow.
Varys says, judging by the wind, we should make salvage just before sundown.
What?
Wow, so close.
Back home.
Yeah, feels like forever.
Yeah, well, we managed to make it right before the end of the month.
Yeah, look at that.
Last day of the odds and ends on the scrap bucket.
We should celebrate.
Here.
Yeah, I think we already did that.
When we get to shore.
Yeah.
Come on, Captain. Not like
Look,
we
we'll
dragged
make it-
ourselves under a hammock 2 days ago.
Personally, I'm looking forward to a hot meal served at the Nesting Quail.
That's
Yes.
true. Oh.
We are reaching some of the end of our fresh supplies.
Yes. Oh, I want fresh meat. Fresh
Mhm.
vegetables. Oh,
Think
Captain.
We can get dinner there, or are we gonna be home too late for that one?
I said we should be there just before sundown, so I reckon we could.
I bet Eka could keep open just a little longer just for us.
Willow could persuade her.
Her favorite customers.
Willow hasn't said anything. I feel like
Yeah.
the news that they're going to be back to salvage, and that the voyage is reaching an end. They're just kind of quiet. They look out
Yeah.
of the boat and then down, and don't really add anything to the conversation.
Cat
Can I-
chimes
Even when
in.
you guys acknowledge them.
Cat
Can I,
chimes
like,
in. That means next day we head into Regalport and go see that captain for our payment, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we get paid, and then I hear we're going to a spa or something.
Get a nice big meal from Regalport. Lunch, spa, dinner.
All the
Celebration.
works.
Yeah.
Job well done. For a ragtag bunch of odds and ends, I think we did okay.
I think we did excellent.
En's gonna put their 2 hands up to Luca and Kat for high fives.
Hell yeah,
Absolutely.
high fives.
Hell yeah. Give me that high
Like-
five.
Yeah, and then Cat and Luca high five each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll offer a hand to Willow, even though they're seeming a bit distant.
Willow will put on a smile and high five you back.
Yeah, and you're gonna notice in that moment that En's smile is also like subdued as they look at Willow and your hands connect.
Oh, you're both sad about this. Okay. Cool.
Deep and meaningful high five.
Yep, that's us.
That's us.
And then En will leave Willow be.
There's plenty to do on the last day.
Oh, what happens to the boat when we get back to salvage? Does it go? Do you pack it away? How do you pack away a boat?
Just shove it right back onto the sand. Just tell the elemental
Yeah.
all right there.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going into the sand. I bet I could convince it. I'm very persuasive, apparently.
Oh, and if it's you and I against the elementals,
And you just pose and look pretty while I tell her what to do.
yeah. I'm very convincing when I'm not doing very much.
Yes, when I looked deep into its soul, what it told me was that it wanted a very pretty man to show
A very pretty
himself off,
figurehead.
to
Me,
parade
the
himself
figurehead.
around the engine room. That's what you really need to get this thing to move the ship.
Absolutely.
Cat is like leaning on the side and is like making a woman doing math face. Because- How do elementals reproduce?
That sounds like a
That's
question
as my
for
cue.
Willow.
No,
Yeah,
I'm going to take it
Willow.
as my cue. I'm going to go check the sales. Willow is going to excuse themselves.
You finally
The
scared them
short
off.
answer, Willow, they don't.
Magic.
I get the feeling they don't. I think En's having been in its mind and like, what do you like? What's your vibe? It's like, yeah, okay.
Being water
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
it likes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it
What does
evaporates.
water like to do? Flow down the path of least resistance? Yep.
Splish splash.
Yep.
Taking a bath.
Da-da-da. Oh, no, no,
About
oh
a
my God,
Saturday night. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Willow needs some air. I think
Okay.
Willow's actually just going to go and sit on the roof of the boat again.
Cool.
Yeah.
The day wears on. You see land in sight. Not that it was ever that far away, but You're starting to make out the specific lay of the land that surrounds Salvage. At about 4 p.m., you see the shape of the lighthouse out on the rocks.
Our lighthouse.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the one.
I think as N is watching the island approach, they're kind of over in their own corner on the deck, just leaned there watching. And
Mhm.
one hand has pulled out their necklace so no one can see the 2 silver bands, wedding bands, and they are feeling them with their thumb as they're watching the ship approach Salvage,
Yep.
where no one can see.
Oh. Hey, Willow. Well, I imagine that Willow actually would be back up on the roof in time for that. But
Yeah,
I
En's
also
back
can
is
imagine
too,
that
Willow.
Willow's not seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and also Willow looks kind of. It's strange. I don't think they kind of realize it, but they're choked up in a way that they can't or aren't putting into words upon seeing the salvage coastline kind of come into view
Mm-hmm.
and like sitting on their boat and watching that happen. Even I think having N in the peripherals like doesn't really catch their eye because they're just, or maybe it does, but it kind of adds to it in a way.
Yeah.
They feel like they have to actually stop themselves from getting emotional, but they're not entirely thinking about why.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something. Since Varys mentioned that it's our last day,
Yep.
Willow's been
Yeah.
quiet with a lump in their throat.
Mm.
Luca also wants to gaze meaningfully at Salvage. Or
Luca is very much keeping himself focused and busy.
Yeah, I think Luca is doing the work of like tidying up and making sure inventory is all stocked and ready to be brought aland
Yep.
once you make port. I think Varys, Cat, and Luca are like being the most busy on this last day of voyage.
Yeah.
I think after feeling themselves get a bit like, well, they have that moment where they're like, oh, I'm fast blinking, like I'm going to cry. Okay. They're going to like sniff hard and then jump off the roof of the boat.
Yeah, hearing Willow's like boots hit the deck, En's gonna like tuck their necklace back away.
Mm-hmm.
Willow's going to ask, thankfully guarded from any perception of their eyes. They aren't crying or anything, but I feel like you could tell, I guess, if you were looking. Who knows? That they ask N, ready?
Ready as I'll ever be. What about
And
you?
then head back. Not expecting N to talk. I imagine Willow was half turned when N said that.
En wasn't looking at Willow when they spoke, but they'll look at Willow now.
Willow looks back to N and considers it. They don't know what to say.
We get a spa day to look forward to. En's gonna look back towards the ocean. Notice Willow's uncomfortable silence and just fill it and let it go.
There was the beginning of a shrug there.
Yeah.
But just the kind of like, I wasn't expecting you to talk to me.
En's eyes seem a bit distant anyway. After
Can
they
I
say
insight
that.
check you? Do I even want to? Do I have the energy to? Let's say no. Nah, yeah, I am.
They were genuinely curious in Willow's answer, but when they saw Willow was uncomfortable.
I don't know if
went
they'd
back
see
to
Willow's
stare.
uncomfortable, just hesitant is.
Yeah, the
uncomfortable.
hesitation is enough.
Just hesitant, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if there's much to see other than En is distant about something in their eyes as they're approaching salvage.
In response to the spa day thing, Willow just like nod. And basically just like, yeah, and then sort of gesture for N to come in.
And we'll sigh, and push off the railing of the deck, follow Willow inside.
You start to see other sailing vessels, other fishing ships that are out just beyond salvage. They wave to you as like greeting as you navigate towards the harbor. Not in recognition, just like passersby nodding at each other.
We have boat things to do as we approach, yeah?
Yep.
We are bringing an elemental fishing boat back to salvage.
I'm gonna tell anyone, it's fine.
No, just I feel like the boat feels heavier coming into port. Like it isn't literally, but Willow feels like the boat has a carving through like the sea in a different way.
Yeah.
But yeah, yesterday was a day for victory. Today is a day for like a strange weight kind of settling in.
Yeah.
I think while Anne and Willow are contemplating what it means to be heading back to salvage, Luca, you are eagerly looking forward and hoping maybe Seeker Elsa will be on the docks there waiting for you.
Yes.